since a long time I've been getting this thing that मैम पेशेंट्स नहीं मिल रहे, या फिर मैम पेशेंट्स जो होम विजिट पे है वो बहुत टाइम होम विजिट कंटिन्यू नहीं कर रहे. So there have been like many questions related to the same thing. So after listening to everyone, after reading all the chats and reading all the comments, I thought of coming up with this topic. Very first thing is, people, agar like if someone has just discontinued with your visit, it does mean that either your fees is too much for them, or it can also be like they don't need your treatment anymore, you know. So you can't complain about it every time. Okay, but then there are few things which can be controlled by us, like today the way we are going to discuss, like how to communicate with them to have a great bonding with them, so that even though they discontinue your treatment, they will be referring you the other one. Okay, so first point you need to remember while communicating with your patient during home visit is to listen to them actively. Okay, उनके घर पे जाके या उनके घर पे जाके खुद की बड़ाई करना बंद करो. To be very honest, yeah, just don't start talking about your achievements. Yes, you might have been treated a lot of patients, you might have been treated the world's worst case, you might have treated the richest patient on this planet, you might have been worked with a top class hospital in your area, but just don't enter someone's place and start blurping out everything. Okay, if they have asked you, then that's a different story. But if they have not asked you and you start telling them about your achievements and everything, what you did in your school and what you did in your high school and how much marks you got and everything, please stop it. Okay, no patient is interested in knowing that from whom all you have treated. Yes, they are interested in knowing that whether you have treated the same cases like them, but they are not interested in knowing whether you have treated Salman Khan or you have treated Amitabh Bachchan. Now your Salman Khan doesn't, I am not targeting anyone, but yes, if you have treated a same case as per your patient, then yes, then it's fine about discussing the same to this or same to them, but don't end up discussing any weird thing about them. Okay, so the thing is, listen actively, in the sense, listen to your patient's thing actively. Yeah, give them time to give them time to think about the question, give them time to think about the doubts. Okay, getting yourself respected as a doctor is a good thing, but that doesn't mean that you are supposed to disrespect your patient. That won't earn you respect as a doctor. Okay, your patient might ask the world's stupid question to you. According to you, the its question might be stupid. Okay, but that question might be the biggest problem, or that question is not stupid for the patient. So learn to answer the question. Okay, your patient might also talk about his or her illness for 10 minutes, he might also talk it about for 10 hours or 10 seconds, whatever time they might talk about it, but a patient always feel that no one can understand the condition as much as more better than his or her doctor. Okay, so you are the best person to to according to them to talk about your problem too. Yeah, so first thing you are supposed to do is to listen to their condition, listen to their problems actively. Don't start with your own issues and everything. Yeah, the second point is have patience. Okay, as I said before, your patient might ask you ample of questions, they might ask you stupid questions. According to you, the question might be stupid. They might also ask you the same question 10 times. They might also, you know, I'm not getting it, but yeah, patients coming out of surgeries or out of some kind of trauma are very much scared, are very much scared of their recovery. They don't know what to expect after that. No wonder the surgeons or the physicians or whoever they might have been consulting to, they might have talked to them a lot about it. Still, a patient coming out of surgery takes their needs their own time to understand what is to be what the procedure is done, what will be the recovery, how will be the recovery phase and everything. They are all time confused about it, they are all time scared of it, and on that thing they are also going through the same pain. Okay, so whenever a patient has come out of a surgery, or has just undergone some trauma or had a road traffic accident, which is actually comes as a surprise to them. Okay, have some patience with such patients. Don't yell at them. Okay, they might even they might even forget the exercises you might have taught them for hundred of time, but that should be okay with any doctor. Okay, that should be okay with a physiotherapist. The moment you start yelling at them or disrespecting them for such things is the moment you will be they will ask you to discontinue the treatment. You will lose the patient, you will also lose the trust. So have patience. The thing is also in having patience is, due to their age or due to their condition, they may take more time to speak. They may talk slowly, or they may talk irrelevant sometimes, but during this time also you need to have patience with them. Okay, now the third thing is to explain. Now explain is like explain your mechanism. Explain the patient the exercises. Why are you doing this particular exercises to them? Why are you recommending this exercise despite of being painful? Why this exercise is important to them? Okay, like also you can write your instructions. You can give them instructions in written. You can give them graphics, because sometimes some patients don't understand. They haven't done any kind of such exercises in their whole life, and then someday they just clash with you. Okay, whatever you're doing to them is totally new. Okay, they can't read and write also. So during this time you're not supposed to just let them go. You are supposed to explain them. Now let your explanation, like let your instructions be in written. Make some graphics if needed, but explain your patient what are you gonna do to them, what are you doing right now to them. Okay, or if your patient might also ask why a particular exercise is being done. Like it is painful, like during TKR, total knee replacement, we are at least expected to reach a level of 90 degrees. Knee flexion should be 90 degrees, but the patient is like, this is not happening because this is too much of pain. But then you need to explain them why it is important, why it should be done today itself, why it can't be done a month later when the pain will subside. Okay, so explain them how a particular machine will work for their benefit. Explain why that machine, despite of giving them currents, why that machine is important to them. Okay, the fourth point is counseling. Now counseling here doesn't mean you should start giving them them your long speech, or you start asking them to write journals and everything. No, no. Counseling here again means listening to their issues, listening to their medical issues. Yeah, listening to what they are suffering right now. Now don't start comparing, like अरे आंटी ये तो मेरे उस पेशेंट को भी हुआ था, यही सेम आपको हुआ, उनको तो कम पेन था, आपको तो ज़्यादा पेन है. स्टॉप दिस, स्टॉप कंपेयरिंग योर पेशेंट्स. Every person differs. So stop comparing your patients to anyone. And this is the biggest insult. What if I say, kids, what if they say that सर वो फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट होता आपसे अच्छा था, right? How would you feel? Even you would feel insulted or disrespected. So the best part is to stop comparing. Don't compare your patients. उनका पेन कम था, इनका पेन ज़्यादा है, आपका पेन इतना अभी तक क्यों नहीं जा रहा. Don't do all these things. You are supposed to treat them, you're supposed to improve their condition. Do that. Okay, now yeah, coming back to counseling. As a physio tend to meet their physios a lot, rather in despite of any condition, or they meet their physicians or surgeons. They don't meet their physicians, surgeons. The many times they meet us. Okay, so we have a very personal bond with the patient. A physician or surgeon might meet twice a month after a discharge. A physician or a surgeon might meet twice a month to the patient, but physios end up meeting the patients almost for 30 days. So a personal bond is built between a patient and the physiotherapist. Okay, so sometimes the patient might start telling you about their personal issue. Okay, like the family issue, the financial issue, इधर ये हुआ उधर हुआ, मेरे बहू ने ये बोला, blah blah blah. You people who are practicing right now might know. I know this is not a part of your job to listen to all this, but then this is important. As a normal human being needs someone to share their thoughts to, okay, which will also after listening to this, which will also apparently contribute to their healing, to the improvement. This will also bring assurance that they will contact you again if they need a physio, or if their neighbor needs a physio, or if or if any relative of them needs a physio, okay. But coming to actual patients counseling, patient counseling refers to a process of providing vital information, advice and assistance regarding their condition. When a particular exercise has to be done, when a particular exercise has to be stopped, this is actually included in a patient's counseling, okay. But then, oh, it's okay, not every time you need to explain them, like explain the medical things or medical conditions and everything. Sometimes you also need to listen to their personal issues, okay. Fifth point is privacy. Okay, now privacy is like, there are patients which I have came across, there are parents actually which I came across who don't want anyone else to know that their daughter or their son is suffering from cerebral palsy or something like that, okay, or grown up teenagers who are suffering from some pelvic issues or something like that, okay. Some parents don't find it uh, don't find it comfortable to let everyone know about the issues, so they request you or they ask you not to let anyone know that why are you coming to their place, or what treatment, whom are you treating right now, and what treatment has to be given. And I guess maintaining a patient's privacy is a certain responsibility, and it's an important duty that every doctor should follow, not even only a physio, but every doctor should follow. So don't share their, obviously don't share their condition or don't share their file without their knowledge. Even if you want to share it to a senior for some reference or anything, any other thing, please make sure that you bring it to their knowledge. You let them know that this is the thing I need to talk to my senior, and then you share your whatever documents or whatever papers they have shared with you, okay. Maintaining a patient's privacy is very important. Now also, even if you do such things, like even if you share their documents or share their hospital paper without their consent, it can also lead you to legal issues, okay. And obviously they won't trust you anymore. The moment you, the moment you lose your patient's trust is the moment you have just left the home visit, you have lost the home visit. So never lose a patient's trust. The other point is fees. When you receive a home visit, after going through their medical history or the trauma history or the surgical history, we come around a particular amount, that this amount will be charged to the patient. But when you reach to the patient's place, the surrounding or the environment they stay in is completely different than what you expected, okay. Though, like, you realize their financial conditions are not up to the mark, or this condition which has newly arisen, which for which you have been called for, either it can be a neurological condition or the road traffic accident, which is a surprise for them itself, okay. They might have lost a lot of money after health insurance, they might have lost a lot of money for their into this health issue. So sometimes adjusting your fees, now adjusting your fees here, I don't mean that you start to asking them for 200 per session, no, I don't mean that. But if by chance they promised you that today evening they'll be paying you, and if they didn't, it's okay. Every person has their own issues, so it's okay. It's okay if they are going to pay you the next day, or if it's okay if they are going to pay you the next week or next month. Also, you have this thing that you shouldn't give them the bill till you don't receive the payment. But don't burden them up, don't start forcing them. Now this will, again, the moment they realize that okay, this physio is okay by paying us late or something like that, just build that, they get the confidence about you. This also ultimately brings trust, builds trust between you and the patient and their relatives, okay. So don't burden the patient with your highly charged fees. Okay, the person who can pay you, charge them 800 or 1200 or whatever according to your location or according to your area, whatever according to the condition also. But if a patient is not able to bear your expenses, relax over there. Okay, don't burden up the patient. Now you will say मैम उसके सर्जन ने तो 2000 लिए, उसके सर्जन ने तो 4000 लिए, उसके फिजिशियन तो 800 लेता है. वो लोग 2000 और 4000 रोज नहीं लेने आते. ओके, दे डोंट टेक देयर 1000 and 2000 every day. But a physio tends to go every day. A physio is needed every day. Okay, so paying 800 or 1000 rupees every day is not affordable to everyone. Yes, they will pay you, but then if they fail to pay you today, don't burden up them with calls and everything. Don't force them. Just tell them that it's okay and they can pay it later, or they can pay a week later. Yeah, so these are the like 6 points I could come up with. First is listen actively to your patient. Second thing is counseling, like what are you going to do to the patient, why is it important, and everything. Third is privacy. Don't let your patient's condition to be viral or anything. Okay, that can also lead you to legal issues. Third thing, build trust, build confidence in your patient. Next is fees. Don't burden up your patient with extra fees. And very important is to have patience. Have patience with your patients. If they are moving slowly, if they are progressing slowly, if they are talking extremely slow, let them, give them time, they will recover. Okay. And also I got a question stating that ma'am, what is there is if there is a language barrier. If there is a language barrier, make sure you have someone, you have the patient's relative with you. Okay, your patient's relative should be with you if your patient is not able to understand your language, because if he is not able to understand your language, he will ultimately won't able to understand the exercise or the procedure you are trying to do. Okay, and this will ultimately irritate and frustrate the patient as well as the therapist. So better have a relative if there is a language barrier. Yeah, so if there is anything regarding this live or something else, either you DM me. Almost every one of you have my number, so you can WhatsApp me on that. And guys, please, 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 if I miss your WhatsApp message, or if I miss your DM, don't worry, I'll be surely coming back. I also have some other few things going on with me right now. So if I am taking like a minimum, I'll obviously reply you all within a week. But then yeah, so and not every book are available with me. Like the moment I open my WhatsApp or open my DM, I'm having minimum 30 to 40 messages stating that ma'am ये book चाहिए, ma'am वो book चाहिए, ma'am article लिखना है, ma'am ये लिखना है. Guys, please give me time. I can't put all the messages together in the group. Even my phone memory is less, so please give me time. Whatever books you needed, just text me, send me the front page of it, and I'll try to get it. Okay, so if there is anything regarding this live, please text me, DM me, and anything. If you have anything, any other suggestion regarding it, you can also DM me for the same. Chalo, bye guys.